You ever hear a scream cut through the desert night, so sharp it stops your heart? I have. Arizona, late summer of '82. 3 years since Abigail died. 3 years of telling myself I was better off alone. Then that scream tore through the sagebrush. I crawled to the gully's edge. 3 riders, dragging a girl bound to a spotted pony. Blood on her lip, rope cutting her wrists, but her spine straight, staring at the lead rider like she was memorizing his face. The big one was laughing. That particular laugh that says a man's got no soul left. She looked right at where I was hiding. Those dark eyes found mine, and I saw something that reminded me of Abigail's last days. That stubborn refusal to break. I made a choice that night. Maybe the only one I could live with. If you're settling in, hit that subscribe button. I got more trails to walk you down. Luke Carson, bounty hunter with a taste for cruelty. The girl was Najoni, Chief Nolish's granddaughter. The territory wanted her to force the chief into signing away Apache land. Politics and greed wearing a legal badge. I checked my Winchester. 6 rounds. Not great odds, but I'd faced worse. Far enough, boys. All 3 wheeled. I had the rifle leveled at Carson's chest. The hermit of Copper Canyon, Carson drawled. Heard you went crazy after your woman died. Heard wrong. I went mean. Different thing entirely. Now cut the girl loose. 1 man, 1 rifle, Carson said. That's a grave you're digging? Maybe. But I'll dig yours first. And I got nothing left to lose. The kid drew. I fired. He went down. The scarred one went for his gun. I caught him in the shoulder. His horse bolted into the dark. His screaming fading. Carson calculated, then spurred hard and ran. I cut Najoni loose. She rolled, came up with the dead kid's revolver before I'd lowered my rifle. Easy, I said. I'm on your side. Men say that a lot, usually before they collect me themselves. I set my rifle down. I'm not collecting anybody. She studied me. Why help me? There's $500 on my head. I thought about Abigail's last words. Keep living, Caleb. Don't you dare stop living just because I do. About breaking that promise every day since. Had a wife once. She made me promise to stay human. Figured this was a start. Something shifted in her face. She lowered the gun. More will come. Carson won't stop. I know a place we can hole up till dawn. We buried the kid in silence. She insisted on helping despite raw wrists. Over the grave, she spoke in Apache. Prayer or curse, hard to tell. At my camp, I cleaned her wounds with whiskey. She didn't flinch. What do they call you? She asked. Most folks call me whatever suits them. I'll call you stranger then. And you're Najoni. Eternal blossom. My grandmother said I'd outlast everything trying to kill me. She laughed, bitter. She didn't know how often that'd be tested. She told me about being dragged from Tucson, about her grandfather's fight for Apache land. I told her about Abigail, about coming here to disappear. But you didn't disappear, she said. You're right here. Tried my best. Turns out the world's persistent. You have kind eyes, stranger. Sad, but kind. Rare out here. After a while, I said, there's something you should know. My claim isn't played out. I've been pulling good silver for 2 years. More than I could spend in 10 lifetimes. Why lie about it? Silver brings trouble, but your grandfather could use it. Buy guns, supplies, time, maybe peace. Why would you give up everything? Because I'm tired of losing everything I could have been. Maybe this is how I start finding my way back. She reached out, put her hand over mine. First human touch since Abigail that wasn't about violence. It was about connection, about being seen. 4 days through Red Rock country. Nijoni knew every canyon, every water source. She taught me to read hawk flights for water, fresh tracks from old. I showed her my Winchester's quirks. It felt like having a purpose again. Third night, she woke me. They're out there. 2 of them. Carson and the scarred one. Your people have a saying about men like Carson? A snake with a broken back still has fangs. You don't stop fighting until the threat is dead. Her plan: use herself as bait to draw them into a box canyon while I hit from above. Absolutely not, I said. I can move silent. Make them think I'm alone. Desperate. You're a white man crashing through brush. They'll hear you a mile away. And if they catch you, they won't. Pure confidence, not arrogance, competence. Against every instinct, I trusted her. Moonset came. Nijoni moved loud, clumsy, panicked, pure act. They took the bait. 2 sets of boots converging. She vanished into rocks like smoke. Carson burst in, guns drawn, confused. I fired, pinning shots. They opened fire on my position. Then Nijoni's voice rang out deeper in the canyon. Carson, you want me? Come get me. He couldn't help himself. Crashed after her voice. I heard the pistol shot, then Carson's scream. Found him bleeding from the thigh. Nijoni stood over him, revolver steady. I could kill you, she said, but death's too easy. You're going to live and remember an Apache girl beat you. Every step with that ruined leg you'll remember. She took his weapons, left his canteen. One mercy. We walked away. That was dangerous, I said, letting him live. So is everything worth doing. 3 more days to Apache territory. Over the ridge, I saw the hidden valley. Lodges, smoke fires, horses, something worth fighting for. Warriors appeared, weapons trained. Nijoni called out, and we were escorted to Chief Nolish. Older than expected, face carved deep with years, but hawk-sharp eyes. They spoke fast in Apache. Finally, he turned to me. My granddaughter says you saved her. Killed for her. Offer silver to help my people. Why? Because Carson was taking her somewhere bad, and I couldn't look away. Because I have more silver than I need. Because helping her made me feel alive again for the first time in 3 years. You trust her judgment? More than my own lately. He studied me. White men don't give away fortunes. Rich and alone still leaves you alone. I tried that. Didn't work. Nijoni spoke. Grandfather, he's offering a chance, not charity. Don't refuse it out of pride. He nodded. We will discuss terms. But first, eat with us. Rest. No man makes good decisions on an empty stomach. That night, surrounded by people with every reason to hate me, they shared their food. Nijoni sat beside me, translating, laughing. For the first time since Abigail died, I felt like I belonged. 3 days later, scouts came at dawn. Carson had brought a dozen armed men, camping outside the valley under a white flag. It's a trap, I said. Chief Nolish shook his head. Maybe, but if we refuse, they'll say we're hostile. Give the territory an excuse for cavalry. We talk, but smart. We met them at the valley entrance with warriors visible. Carson looked worse, leg festered, limping, grudge deep. Chief Nolish, I've come for the girl. Territorial law. She's under my protection. She's broken no law except being my granddaughter. I got paper says I can retrieve fugitives anywhere. That paper's worthless, I said, stepping forward. Carson's eyes locked on me. Stone. Gone native? Gone sane. The air went tight. Then Nijoni stepped forward. You want me? Here I am. But you take me. You start a war. With every Apache from here to Mexico. Is $500 worth that? Carson smiled ugly. It ain't about money anymore. It's about principle. You shot me, left me to die. I left you alive. That was mercy. You're too stupid to recognize it. Chief Nolish raised one hand. Apache warriors appeared on the ridges. 20, 30, maybe more. All armed, all aimed. You were saying about principle? The chief asked mildly. Carson froze, calculated, realized he'd walked into a killing ground. Here's what happens, I said. You ride out. Tell everyone Najoni's under Apache protection. Anyone who comes for her starts a war. Because if you stay, you'll never leave this valley. He stared at me, at the warriors, at Najoni. You'll regret this. I doubt it, she replied. They left. We watched until they were dust. He'll be back, I said. Maybe, the chief agreed, but not soon. We bought time. 3 months I stayed. We organized supply runs to Phoenix. Quiet, careful. Bought rifles, ammunition, medicine. Time. I worked with young warriors teaching white man's tactics. Not to train them for war, but because ignorance kills. And Najoni was everywhere. Translating, organizing, leading. I understood why the territory wanted her. She wasn't just the chief's granddaughter. She was a leader. One night by the stream, we were weaving grass into rope. Our hands kept brushing. Neither moved away. You're getting good at this, she said. Good teacher. I laughed, easy and real. First time since Abigail. What? She asked, smiling. I forgot what this felt like. Being comfortable with someone. Me too. After a while. Can I ask you something? When you look at me, what do you see? Someone strong. Someone who survived what would break most people. Someone teaching me how to live again. She nodded slowly. And I see someone carrying grief like a stone, but trying to put it down. Someone choosing to be better than his pain. That what we're doing? Choosing to be better? I hope so. Because I'm choosing you, stranger. In whatever way you'll let me. My breath caught. Najoni. I know it's complicated. I'm not asking you to feel something you don't. I'm just telling you what's true for me. I looked at her in starlight. This woman who'd saved my life as surely as I'd saved hers. It's true for me too. I'm just scared. Scared of losing someone again. Scared I'm too broken to build anything real. She took my hand. Everyone's broken. The question is whether we break together or separately. That's a hell of a philosophy. It's an Apache philosophy. We've been broken for generations, but we're still here. I laced our fingers together. I can't promise forever, but I can promise I'll try. That's all I'm asking. That was 4 months ago. Carson died of infection 3 weeks after we ran him off. The territorial government tried sending a marshal once, but the chief had enough guns and silver-bought allies to make harassment cost more than it was worth. Najoni and I, we're figuring it out. Some days easy, some days hard, when her people look sideways, or when I wait calling for Abigail. But we're building something real. I still mine that silver, not for fortune, but for future. Every ounce buys medicine, horses, another month of peace. The chief made me part of the council. First time I've been part of something bigger than survival. There's talk about winter, whether I'll stay when snows close the passes or head back alone. Part of me still craves solitude, but another part knows staying is braver. Means commitment. Means accepting I might lose again and choosing to risk it anyway. Last week at my claim, Najoni traced the names I'd carved in the doorframe. Abigail's name, the date she died. Remember. You'll always love her, she said. Not a question. Yeah. Good. Love like that doesn't disappear. It changes shape. She turned to me. I'm not replacing her. I'm just here now. With you. However that looks. How does it look? Like two people learning to trust again. Like maybe eventually something more. But only if we both choose it. I kissed her then. First time. She kissed back fiercely, hands fisting in my shirt. When we broke apart, both breathing hard. That felt like a choice, she whispered. Yeah, it did. So here I am, friend. Still in that valley. Still mining silver. Still learning Apache words and making Najoni laugh with terrible pronunciation. Still waking some mornings with Abigail's name on my lips. But also waking to purpose, to community, to a woman who sees all my broken pieces and stays. Carson's dead. The territory's distracted. Chief Nolish is using silver to build alliances that might actually protect his people. Not forever, but long enough to matter. I've learned something. Grief and love aren't opposites. They're companions. You can honor the past while building a future. You can remember who you lost without becoming lost yourself. There's a wedding ceremony being planned, Apache style. I'm terrified, excited, still not sure I deserve this second chance. But I'm taking it, because that girl who refused to break chose me, and I'll be damned if I waste that gift. So if you're out there thinking your story's over because you lost something precious, it's not. Your story's over when you stop choosing to write it. Until then, there's always another trail, another sunrise, another chance to become someone worth being. I found mine in Arizona, in a hidden valley, with a woman who taught me that survival and living are different things. That redemption is something you do, not something you receive. The silver's still in my claim, but the real treasure? That's sitting beside me right now, her hand resting easy on my knee like it belongs there. Maybe it does. Maybe I do too. If this meant something to you, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the edge of civilization, where choices matter and redemption's always one decision away. The desert's got more stories. Maybe our trails will cross again. Until then, keep choosing. Keep living. Keep believing broken things can be made whole. Because they can.